so excited to have our next guest on. If you've caught the performance bug, you think you have a great idea for your own TV show, forget the networks. Do it yourself. Broadcast it on the web. They're calling it IPTV because IP, of course, TCP/IP is the network protocol. Kevin Rose, my old friend, is here. Co-host with me for a long time in the Screensavers, and it's so great to have you, Kevin. You know, I haven't seen you in a while. You look a little different, but is things going well for you?
Things are going well, yeah. Leo, how you doing?
I'm doing great. So what is this that you got here? Bandmates Inspiration.
I have no idea, Leo. I'm not sure what that is.
Come here, Kevin Rose. The real Kevin Rose, please stand up. Get rid of this, ladies!
That is so much alike, though.
Doug Kelly, who is the Kevin Rose of Canada. He actually works here.
Handsomer Kevin Rose, yeah.
All right, and a little bit bigger, too.
I
need to work out a little bit.
We've had our fun. Leave us now.
Okay, guys.
Sorry, it's time for the real Kevin. No, we just
you get a Patrick Norton replacement, then you get the old screensavers back again.
Kind of bizarro screensavers.
Yeah.
It's good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
How's things been?
Good. I'm launching a new little venture.
You're getting off the tube and getting onto the computer.
That's right.
Which I think is really neat.
Yeah, I'm excited about it.
Now, some might say, well, I mean, look, actually, nobody could say this about you, and that's kind of one of the neat things. It's not like you don't have a career in television. You do, and you can do as much TV as you want. Why is it that you would be interested, though, in promoting it on the net?
Well, more than anything, it's just the ability to do what you want. You know, when people don't realize when you're doing TV content, you're restricted a certain number of minutes on air. You can only do, 4 or 5 minute segment. You can only get so in depth.
And there's a lot. It takes a team of a lot of people.
Team of a lot of people. You have an executive producer telling you what to do. There's certain, it's very expensive to do. Here you can do it, out of your own home. And do whatever you want. Just put it online, and people will download it, and eventually there'll be ads to support it, and it'll be your.
This is a new venture of yours.
Yes.
The first episode is up. It's System without an E, SYSTM. And it's at systm.org. And you're going to do short, like 10-minute how-to segments.
Right, 10 to 15-minute how-to segments. They'll all be downloadable. They'll all be wrapped in RSS so that people can subscribe to it, much like a podcast.
It's just a video cast.
Right, it'll just automatically be downloaded on your computer.
That's kind of neat, because you don't have to know when the new one's going to be out. You just subscribe. I'm sure everybody will. You did a thing called The Broken, which was, you did how many, 3 episodes?
Yeah, 3 episodes of The Broken.
Half-hour episodes, very popular. How many downloads are those?
2.5 million, something like that.
What?
Yeah, it's been quite a few. Well, it was slash-dotted, and it was all over the place. People started linking to it.
Million?
Yeah, it's crazy. That's really what did it, though. That's what showed me that this is, a viable concept. You could do this. You can launch it.
So what do we need? How do we do? I want to do this. How do we do it? What do we need to do?
Well, I mean, you can pretty much work with any camera that you have at home. So
DV cameras are good enough.
You're good to go. Firewire right into your computer. Your favorite video editing application is good to go. I mean, there's so many.
You can even use
iMovie.
iMovie. You can use Windows Movie Maker if you want.
Yeah, I don't like that one so much, but yeah,
but you could if you had to.
Definitely.
What are you using for System?
We're using Premiere Pro.
Okay, that's on Windows.
Yeah, it's on Windows.
And your camera?
Camera is a Panasonic 100A. It's a 24p cam. It's a little pricey. This is not. It's like it's like $3,000-$4,000. But
if you think about it, I mean, compared to the studio cameras we're using here, which could be $50,000, that's still cheap.
Yeah.
And the quality's pretty good.
Oh, the quality's amazing. I mean, it looks production quality. So we use that to shoot at G4 different various segments around.
Show a little bit of this. This is System, the most recent episode.
Oh, I can load up the most recent episode.
Do you have it? Oh, you didn't have this.
It's right here.
He's going to show us some post processing that they do.
Right.
Just show us the beginning of it so people could see. I mean, it's the quality of this is every bit as good as broadcast. In fact, better.
Yeah, so this is shot with a 24p camera in here. We're not shooting in 24p mode, and then here I'll skip forward to where kind of our
we don't have audio, so
yeah, it's okay. But you can get an idea of the graphics that go into an episode.
Now you've spent some energy and time, and maybe even money on this.
We have a good graphics 3D animator that put this together in After Effects. But this is all done out of someone's house. I mean, this wasn't done in a studio, or this wasn't done. This is just 2 guys that were working on this animation here.
Wow, that's remarkable.
Yeah, and then we go back into the studio, and you can see this set was all created with just like stuff from IKEA. And this is like a $300 set right here, but it looks nice if you light it right. And
lighting is kind of key.
Yeah, it is.
Tell me about the lighting. How you do the lighting?
Okay, so let me pause this here, and I'll pull up a video of the different lighting.
So you've got just a kind of standard camcorder on a tripod, obviously.
No, it's all handheld.
Handheld.
Yeah, we have a guy.
You want that kind of feel, though. That's the aesthetic of that, right? Is kind of a little bit. Or no, or you just can't afford a tripod?
Well, no. We have a tripod too, but we want to have that feel of kind of moving around and keeping going. Let me pull up the lights here. Here is the lighting movie. Now this is an example of like a standard 3-point lighting system that you can use. Now you can see here we start off in black. And we're going to turn on.
There's no lights here, I would say. Okay.
So here's a fill light right here on the right.
We should say Dan Heward.
Yes, Dan Heward.
I've never said, after 5 years, still have never said
Can't say his name right.
He is great. He's your co-host on this, and of course, another one of the Screensavers family.
So right there, we just turned on 2 fill lights, a key light in the center, and then 2 accent lights in the on the back right there.
That made a big difference. How much for lighting do you spend?
You're going to spend around between $1,000 and $1,500 for a basic kit.
If you really want to do it right.
Right.
But you could do, as you did early in the show, shoot it on the street, and you don't need any lighting.
Well, you don't need any on the street, and then you can get a standard light that mounts to the top of your camera as well.
Right.
You know, spend $7,500 there. And then you can do like we did the Broken. We didn't use any professional lights. It was just like halogen lights that we were shining at us. So
now, we all know that Dan is not very good at ad-libbing, so you have a teleprompter for him?
Yes, this is key, actually. This hooks into a little hot shoe at the top of your camera, and you can just basically keep notes on there. It's not necessarily like a teleprompter, but it's a cheap, poor man's teleprompter.
It's like $30.
Yeah, it's like $30. And then you can just keep notes of, different points that you want to hit as you're talking about different things.
That's all you really need.
Yeah, that's all you need. It works great.
Dan, actually, I was joshing. He's actually better without the prompter. He's not a... The prompter's not his friend.
Yeah, that's true. He had a hard time with prompter from time to time.
It's hard. That's a hard skill to learn.
And then I'll show you one other little unique thing that I like right here. Take a look at this video here. This is a trick that we use all the time. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and hit play.
You're using some post-processing on this? Or is that what you want to talk about here? Or what are you going to talk about?
I was going to show you the difference between faking a 2-camera shoot.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's
so one of the things that we do...
That's a real expense to have 2 camera operators and 2 cameras.
Exactly. So take a look at here. You can see that Dan's showing off the Mac Mini, and he's going to pull it up here and start talking about the ports on the back. And as he's going through the different ports here, it would be nice to have that second camera so that you can actually have it zoomed in.
Yeah.
Right. So what we did is we took a nice tight shot showing the different ports, and it appears as though we're using 2 cameras here. And you can see we come back out to Dan.
That's just editing.
And you get that illusion. Yeah, it's just editing. So what we did is you pause the video, and then you come back and you actually go and line up and get exactly, you can see that someone off camera here said this is exactly how you were holding it.
Right.
And then you can go on and reshoot that and then edit it after the fact, and you get that illusion that...
That's how they do movies. They don't have 2 cameras in a movie.
Yeah.
They shoot a master shot, then they come back and they do pickups of close-ups.
Works great.
And you edit it together, and you don't need 2 cameras.
Yeah, you can just do it with one, and it's really easy to do, and it's a lot of fun.
You're using a plug-in in Premiere Pro.
Yes.
Now, I don't know if this is going to make any difference on TV, but you're not on TV. You're on a computer screen, which is much higher resolution, where quality makes a difference. Show us that this is called Magic Bullet?
Yes, this is called Magic Bullet. This is a great plugin that works with Apple products as well as Premiere Pro. And so here's our standard set right here. You can kind of take a look at the background. It's well lit, but if you look at when we turn on Magic Bullet here, you can just see everything just kind of pops out. See the difference there? But it just...
I don't know if you could tell on an NTSC TV, the one you're watching at home, but yeah, you can see. And what it does is it kind of just sharpens everything, and it makes it pop in a way that you might not notice, except that subconsciously it just looks crisper and sharper and better.
Exactly. So we like to use little plugins like this. Also, there's transitions, obviously, you have to use that are built in as well, and Magic Bullet helps out with some of that stuff.
Now, you don't use a lot of, wipes and fades and weird transitions, do you?
We do use some, yeah. But we had those all custom made, so it's not like the stuff you see stock.
Oh, you're using special stuff.
Yeah, that's right. It's fun, though.
How about music? Do you have music in it? Is that important?
Yeah, we do. Music is very important, and one of the things that you have to consider is, at first when we were creating The Broken, we were just using off-the-shelf, like, copyrighted music. Luckily, we didn't get sued. But
I really can't do that. I mean, even on a podcast, you've got to use music that's licensed.
So here's an example right here of a CD that you can buy for GarageBand, Logic 7, or Soundtrack. And this is all completely open music. It means you can use it anywhere at any time without having to pay any royalties.
See, that's a revolution. With GarageBand or Acid,
you can create your own.
You can make your own music.
You've played around with that stuff before.
Oh, I love it. I wish I were a better musician, but it does at least make even somebody like me capable of making your own music.
Yeah, and see, that's the whole thing is, like, I'm not that good with creating music, so this right here, it comes pre-built with a bunch of different loops for you, and you can kind of just drag and drop and create your own.
So you've shot the video, you've edited it, you've got it touched up with Magic Bullet. You're going to put it on the internet. Obviously, you can't put it up the way it is. You compress it?
Yes, you have to compress it. I mean, when you kick it out, well, the first thing that we do is we export it completely uncompressed, and it's going to turn out to right around a 3 or 4 gigabyte file.
Okay, well, nobody's going to download that.
Nobody's going to download that. So we use H.264, which is the new compression technology with Apple.
This is QuickTime Pro.
QuickTime Pro, and QuickTime Pro on the PC will do it as well. Yeah. And or you can use Dr. DivX for doing DivX files.
And you get pretty good results?
Yeah, Dr. DivX is great. I
have to say, I was looking at this full screen on a Mac, which is this 15-inch is a much higher resolution than a television. And it's beautiful. And how big is the final file?
The final file, it's depending, we do a low res and a high res, but between 50 to 150 megabytes.
So it's not that big.
No, it's not that big.
But people aren't going to maybe download that from your server. You're going to use BitTorrent so that you can, which is really a revolution. It means that everybody kind of shares the bandwidth cost, and it doesn't cost you anything to offer this.
Yeah, exactly. So then we put it on our tracker, and we put it up via BitTorrent, and like you said, they all kind of share the bandwidth.
systm.org. You can see the most recent episode. More to come. Kevin Rose is really part of a number of people, a kind of loosely knit group of people who are starting to put radio and television on the internet. It's a whole new way of broadcasting that gives everybody a voice, and I think it's very exciting. If you want to see the latest episode of System, go to systm.org or our show notes. Call for help. TV.com. Kevin, it's always been a pleasure to work with you. One of the great things about working with people like Kevin is you always know what the next big thing is going to be because Kevin's got his hands deep into it.
It's fun.
It is exciting. Yes. I really love it. Don't go channel.